Today I'm going to show you a hack for packaging medium to large heavy items for shipping. I'm a full-time woodworking seller on Etsy, and I ship anywhere between 8 to 12 medium to large heavy items per week. And number one, you want your items to get there safely and intact, just as your customer ordered, and you don't want it cutting into your profit margin too much with all the shipping materials that you got to buy. So I learned this little hack of materials you can get at your local big box stores. It really cuts down on packaging costs and ensures that your items get there safely. So let's get into it. All right, this is an item I sell in my shop, and this is what we will be shipping today. It is 34 inches by 17 inches and weighs a whopping 33 pounds. So we got to get this packaged up safe and get it on its way. All right, this is the hack. This is the secret to my shipping success. It is an 8 by 4 piece of polypro foam insulation board that you can get at Home Depot or Lowe's. This is what it looks like on this side, and regular styrofoam on the other side. Now this is a 1/2 inch piece that also comes in 1 inch and comes in 1.5 inch. I use the 1/2 inch and it's only $10. I have enough material out of this 8 by 4 piece to package up 2.5 products essentially. Price wise, it is excellent. Protection wise, it is excellent. I think my damage, rate is under 0.5%. If that. I don't even know. I just haven't received one in well over a year since I started using this process or this hack. All right, so I'm going to show you how I cut it up for the box that I'm going to use to ship it in, and we'll get it all done up. So the shipping box size is a 36 by 18 by 6. So I'm going to cut 2 giant sheets at just under, okay, so just a 1/16 under, so 35 and 15/16 by 17 and 15/16. So I'm gonna measure it out with my tape measure, and then we'll cut it with the box cutter. Down here, I'm gonna mark out for the side pieces. That'll make more sense when I get them cut out and I put them in. And the side pieces are going to be cut at 5.5. So you'll need some kind of straight edge. I got a really long level here that I'm going to use. When I do this, I'll usually cut up 1 or 2 sheets instead of just cutting them individually. So that way I got a bunch cut up. I can use them whenever I got something I'm ready to ship. Most of the time I do this on the floor in my office because it's just easier, but it's a little bit better with the light to film out here in the garage. Let's get this cut up. Surprisingly enough, this styrofoam will dull these blades pretty fast, so I'm changing out blades probably every 2 sheets. Because if you don't have a good sharp blade, it'll start to catch on here and start to yank out pieces of the styrofoam. It gets real messy real quick. So have a good sharp blade, get yourself a pack of them and change them out relatively often. I don't know if this is going to show up. This is the main piece, and then these are the 2 side pieces. This helps me cut them a lot faster and reduce the actual amount of waste of styrofoam that I use, so I can use as much of this panel as possible, or this foam board. All right, we're all done. Top, bottom piece, side pieces, top piece. Let's get the box put together and we'll get this plugged in. All right, so here's our 36 by 18 by 6 inch box. All taped up, ready to go. We'll take the first piece, lay it in there, nice and snug. And then we'll put the rack in. Here is the 4 side pieces that I cut. 2 will go on each side. This is also good because most of the time when if it's sitting on its back, it's fine. If they sit them on their edge sometime, I'd want this extra bit of board here. So essentially, obviously, 2 becomes 1 inch. Top piece I cut. And then I sit this up all the way against that. Now this top piece, because the way the rack's designed, how it goes down, I don't need protection really past this point. And I have to compensate because this is going to sit inside these 2, because these were cut at 5.5. This piece I cut off is going to sit right inside here. I'm going to cut a little bit off of this and then cut this lengthwise and stick that in there as well. So I have 2 pieces. And now just for the parts where these pipes are at, I always keep a roll of craft paper on hand. And I jam it in those edges just to ensure that during shipping it doesn't move around a whole lot. Or actually at all. Now that is all secured, and the last and final piece is the top part, and it fits in right into this edge right here. Right snug on top, like that. And this thing is solid. It'll actually take you a little bit of muscle to push this seam together. I usually just use my knees, and then I throw the tape on. And that, my friends, is it. Basically $5 in foam that I get from Lowe's to pack this up nice and securely. And as I said, my damage rate, meaning customers will reach out and say they received the damaged product, is less than 0.5%, probably even less than that. I just haven't had one in such a long time to actually give you any kind of stats. So hey, use this technique. If packaging large, heavy items has actually kept you from building larger or heavy items because you're worried about shipping them and going through all that business and complication of getting them shipped, use this technique. It's beautiful. If you need to bump up to the inch, bump up to the inch. Obviously it's going to cost a little more, but it's still going to be way less than shipping supplies you buy off Amazon or get from Uline or some of these other places. Another little hack that I have used is, one of the hardest things is when you got dead space in the boxes for your item and you have to fill that with something, right? So your item's not rattling around in there. I have actually, if I couldn't find a really good box that matched up, maybe with just an inch or 1/2 inch around the item, then I have actually changed the dimensions of my woodworking product to match the shipping box. And that really made things a lot easier too, where I could stick a 1/2 inch thing of foam on the side so it fits in there nice, perfectly and snug. So consider that as well. Maybe you just need to change the dimensions a little bit to fit the box. Now I get all my boxes off of Uline. I'm not affiliated with them in any way, but they have a huge selection of boxes. They usually have next day shipping. The shipping, it's funny, the shipping to get your shipping boxes, I think it's a little expensive, but it's just something you got to roll into the price of your product at the end of the day for, to meet whatever profit margin you're wanting to meet. So use this foam. Change the dimensions of your item a little bit to fit a shipping box so you're not having to use all that fill and do all that business, and it will make your packaging and shipping part of running your woodworking business a heck of a lot easier. So, all right, glad I got that done. Thank you for watching. We will see you on the next video. Please subscribe and like and tell your friends or something.